Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Doruk, and today I have for you the very exciting, the very anticipated, uh, you know, uh, the game three of my second round in the Return of the King tournament, and I'm again playing against Amroth, and yeah, we had an amazing two games so far. If you have not checked them out, please do so. They are excellent games, very entertaining. And we find ourselves in the game three with some muster points. And muster points, I'm pretty sure I've explained them in the first round. But again, to recap, players are bidding for points. In this case, my opponent bid zero. Bidding zero means they are getting 0 points. Every half a point is considered half a muster. So every point is like a full muster die worth of units on the board. So if you get one muster point, you could put an elite in anywhere you would want, either a settlement or where an army is present. Usually free people get the extra elite because people think, even in this format, I think Shadow's a little bit more favored, but some people disagree. So my opponent opted to give me zero, and I upped the bid to one, and they accepted. So they start with an extra elite in Woodland Realm, and it's very interesting how quickly the dynamic of the game changes, because then usually this army in Dol Guldur cannot really that quickly attack the dew line, which significantly reduces your ability to take a free stronghold. And Elven Pincer is also not that strong because in this format, especially because you don't roll that many movement, like that many army movement at the beginning of the game, which means by the time you're able to even get there, usually free people get to muster them. So it's a very interesting format. I'm not really sure how much or less I like compared to the tokens. I think people love the tokens for their ability to reverse the turn order and do some fun military shenanigans, and also avoiding cards like Cruel Weather and moving into Moria and stuff like that. So it's I guess a difference in preference kind of thing. I do think that I don't really have a strong opinion over one over the other. I don't think I've played with much with muster points to have a valid opinion. But yeah, it's an interesting way to balance. So all this is said, all this is to say that I gave my opponent one elite in Woodland Realm to be able to play as Shadow. That's what it comes down to in the end. So, game three, for all the marbles. For this game, I unfortunately cannot see my opponent's hand. We forgot to exchange passwords after the game. But I start with Pits of Mordor and Candles of Corpses. Pits of Mordor is great. You want to go... I can use it as a half quasi orcs multiplying again to capture the north quickly. Candles of Corpses is a dread and despair, I suppose, but early enough it could definitely hurt the Fellowship. So let's jump right in. My opponent, they have to crown Aragorn. They separate Boromir and Strider only, which signals to me that they're not really looking to go for a military game. They're not bringing Legolas, Gimli, all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's fair. I say thank God no Fear Fire foes. Because that would be very sad. So I plan to get Saruman, so I move down Isengard, get Saruman, they continue down south. I get Sauron to war, they crown Aragorn, and I move to Gorgoroth. I think this is my go-to way of playing Shadow. First turn, it's fine. Like, I don't think you could do much else. Okay, so go into turn 2. Stormcrow, Ring is mine. Stormcrow is actually very interesting. I could use it on the elves or Gondor, depending on how they choose to muster, using Boromir ability. Fellowship, okay, allocate 1 eye, roll 1 more, and just get a meh roll. It's not bad, it's not terrible. Probably can play Pits of Mordor, Ring is mine, and just maybe muster some elites in Dol Guldur and go north. Yeah, so not a bad roll. And my opponent rolls this great roll. You know, really good. Can do whatever you want. Get Gandalf turn 2, which is a big difference from game 2 where they got a turn 8 or so. That's like 6 extra actions that's almost like a full turn of actions that you get. They pass. I play Pits. They move. They want to get hit. They don't. I muster 1 more elite, and now this army in Dol Guldur is huge. This army is huge. It can't technically reach Woodland Realm. And my opponent, if they really wanted to, they could push the elves. But like, I don't know why you would not want to get Gandalf. They move. They're safe again, which is good for me, which means they will move again into Moria move on the third movement to try to get Gandalf, which is really nice. If I manage to reveal them into Moria, then corruption definitely will start to be a problem. So I start going up north, and when you usually move this army north, this army in Morannon usually attacks Rohan. I don't want to mess with Gondor necessarily. They're far away from war. Plus, there's a companion there. But it can go anywhere. It's flexible. I just like the flexibility. So they go to Old Forest Road, and Mestinet makes a lot of sense. Make me waste half a movement, which is really something I lack. So that's very valid. I bring Southrons towards war. I can't get the Witch King, but maybe I should hold on to that muster, such that if they choose to move down Gondor for some reason and not get Gandalf, probably fine. Maybe I wonder if I should have used the muster to muster 1 more in Dol Guldur. That could have been an option. That might have been a little bit of an overkill though. But provided they have an extra elite here, it might not have been a bad idea as well. Not gonna lie. Or maybe... But if I need reinforcements to take over Dew, I can just muster Northrune or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Because I also need to bring Southron Easterlings to war anyway, right? To be able to use them towards the Dew line. So I don't hate this. They move again. I catch them, but I don't reveal them. So, but at least it's a 1, which means it's an inefficient hit. You know, you can't win all of them, right? I move out, and yeah, I don't attack into Old Forest Road. I just use my army moves as efficiently as possible. I thought to myself that, hey, I can just make this attack with a character die next turn anyway. Like, why? There's no rush to be on Old Forest Road. Other than the fact that on a low attack roll, I might not even be able to get the Witch King. I need 1, 2, 3 attacks, ideally. To put the North to war. Yeah. Also, an interesting decision. I think, like, at this point, I don't know why I was maybe not playing the best War of the Ring I've seen. I could also move to Eagle's Eyrie to cover Carrick with this army of Malk Gundabad. But I really didn't want to waste time. Like, this is a very interesting, this is a very tough thing to balance. My opponent is flying by. They killed Gandalf. They're going to move fast, fast, fast. So I need to keep up with the military as fast as I possibly can. So covering Carrick, while it's a good idea, I'm not sure if it benefits the speed. Like, I'm basically saying that I'm not gonna waste time covering Carrick. Instead of, I'm just gonna attack, and try to be fast as possible, because my opponent is fast. So they get Gandalf in Fangorn. Fine. I put Ring is mine. So That's why I don't try to cover Carrick. Though in games like this, when you go fast, 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 you usually Carrick becomes either a huge reliability or a huge nothing, right? Like if my combat goes well and I have a bunch of excess units left over from this army in Narrows, then whatever army they muster in Carrick is going to be basically useless. However, if these combats go worse and badly and I have like a single dude left or like single orc left on Woodland Realm and in Dale, then the army in Carrick can retake these points and cause a massive, massive delays. So choosing to cover Carrick is a very delicate choice, I feel. And given that I have played Pits of Mordor, I think covering it is correct, by the way. I think I can afford to like do that, especially if I'm not attacking Gondor. That because they separated Strider, so they're not gonna go that fast. So I don't need to go that crazy fast and like leave myself open for a high variance unlucky situation that might happen in Carrick. So probably a slight mistake there. I draw Rage and Breaking, which are fine. Rage early is like a very tough to do correctly, to play correctly, because you can go to Shire, you can go to Rivendell, you can even go use it towards Rohan. It's just a very flexible card, and when you have that much flexibility, committing to one of the plays, might backfire in the future. So it's hard. It's a hard card to use correctly, I find. So allocate one eye, roll no more. A beautiful roll. Absolutely go, go, go roll. And my opponent gets, again, they also get a good roll. They have 3 movements, bunch of musters. I don't know their cards. Maybe they have cards they want to play, but not sure. But Gandalf is dead, so maybe not that much. They start bringing Gondor down. And I do have Stormcrow, which means I can like trade 1 for 1. But anyway, so what would you do here? 1 second. 1 second as I leave you to think. Okay, we're back. So, what would you do here? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like the dice look so similar. I have 6 attacks. And 6 musters. I don't know what to do. What would you do? I want to attack Woodland Realm. I want to get the Witch King. That's number 1. But like, what else do I do? I genuinely don't know. So please tell me. In the game, there's way too many options. Like, I don't know. Maybe I push for D8. They have 2 musters. One. I can obviously reach anywhere. But I don't want them to. I don't want to muster for them. I can reach D8, but they can muster twice. Is what I'm basically trying to say. I can play for Rage. I can try to pincer 2 elves. That requires me 1, 2 attacks. Rage 3, 4, 5. And 1 more muster is 6. And 2 musters is actually full 7. So I can like use my entire turn to cover Woodland Realm, muster twice in Northumberland, Rage into Moria, and just go attack Lorien. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can do that. That seems like a decent plan. No? And they really cannot get a muster in. And if they get a muster in, they have to use a will, which I don't mind. Because I'm bringing massive forces. Like 1 elite won't change the difference. But like if I do that, I can't get the Witch King. So I guess just a single muster in Northumberland is enough. Or like I can use the voice. but then I don't bring any more elites. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do? I don't think going towards Rivendell versus Lorien is not faster over the other, so that does not make any difference. So I think here I decide to put the South Throne on Easterlings towards war. And again, this is also another option. I want to attack the Dew Line. I want to threaten and find Corsairs. This also made sense to me. I just said, okay, I'm gonna, now that Gondor is going towards war, I'm gonna do something similar to what I done in game 2, which is attack Osgiliath, attack Pelargir, and just like wait for an opportune moment to push for DA. That's what I was thinking about doing, seeing that how Gondor was going to war. But at the same time, I need to get the Witch King, so I need to put a nation to war, which is going to be the Northmen. I get my 6s, push them down, they move, they're safe. I go to Woodland Realm. Like here, I genuinely should just probably cover Carrick and make a half army move, then attack Dale. That should be my plan, I think. I attack Woodland Realm first, such that the armies in Dale cannot retreat into Woodland Realm. That was my idea. But I can do that after covering Carrick, Woodland Realm, then here. Like I had enough attacks. Like that's also an option. So 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm not sure if I played it correctly there, like at all. They move, I catch them, they take a random, it's Gimli, fine. I think they were trying to get a Hobbit and put him in somewhere relevant, maybe Rohan. I don't know their cards, maybe they have like Riders of Theoden, who knows. I attack Dale, they heroic death. I get nothing, they get nothing. I press, they retreat back into Erebor, and I cover Dale to put them to war to get the Witch King. Again, like getting the Witch King is good. Don't get me wrong, but when you like form your entire turn around getting the Witch King, it kind of makes you do all these like inefficient stuff, right? Like maybe it's not because I had like a lot, like a ton of attacks. I probably, if I played it correctly, it wouldn't have mattered. Like maybe like I should. Why is Carrick not covered at this point? Like this is not a given fight at all. Like I have these armies in Mark on the bed. Probably should just cover them. Sure. Meanwhile, organizing the Southrons and getting Southrons to war, it makes sense. Like I want them to be at war. Sure, I didn't go for Rage into like Elven Pincer. Feel like keeping the flexibility of range is fine. Like it's not that bad. But like, yeah, it's like, okay. I feel like I should just cover Carrick. I don't know. They put Gondor to war. And I start moving armies. I start going towards Rohan with this mini movement. I have movement, so I want to use them efficiently. But like, I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. So they're thinking, they muster him and did it. I go towards Western Rondor and Western Emmanuel. And they muster one in Dol Amroth. And I attack Pelargir. And I completely forget that I did all this mumbo jumbo to get the Witch King, and I don't even get him. So, you know, just a complete like lapse in judgment. We played this game after our second game. Like the next day, so I was still like exhausted from that game. So probably like just made some like questionable calls. But like I just hate, like looking back, I just hate how I played this turn. Like yeah, just covering Carrick and bringing these 4 dudes to like buff up this siege feels like a good enough plan. I didn't have to rush attack the elves. I can just like move and then also make progress towards Rohan with this army and just kind of like leave Southrons just on their own. Feels like a good idea. Pincering the elves, it's a good plan, but like maybe there are more things I could achieve. Right? I'm not actually putting the elves to war, so I can still execute that plan next turn, potentially. So, I don't know. Genuinely curious what you think the best course of action for Shadow is. So, I don't even get a hit, which is a salt to the wound. Okay. At the moment by the way, when I realize in the game, I get Hill Trolls and Balrog, which are good cards. I look at one eye and I roll 4 more eyes. And I look at my dice, I'm like, wait, why do I have 8 dice? And I'm like, I don't have the Witch King. Don't have the Witch King anymore. Not anymore. Don't have the Witch King. And yeah, just rolled 4 eyes. And my opponent gets this roll. And in all honesty, this is quite a lucky roll. I would say if they had a little bit more army movement, I wonder if they could just like get a military victory. The only good thing is the elves are not at war, so this army in Lorien cannot threaten Dol Guldur. But like this single guy in Osgiliath can just go walk North Ithilien, Daggerlad, Moranon. Had they roll a little bit more army movements. So these are the kind of rolls that make you insta lose as Shadow, unfortunately. So no, let's see. So they they start mustering in Carrick, and I will be punished for not covering Carrick. This is what's gonna come down to. So I pass. I can't do anything. My opponent moves to Westernnet, and this is just like a cascading mistake that I have made. Right? I attack Pelargir, and now I have to respect Deadman. I've completely forgot. But in the last game, I also had attacked Osgiliath, which means that I can just re-attack against the Deadman. But like here, I cannot. And if I attack into Osgiliath here, and they just go to South Ithilien, suddenly Mordor is very much reachable. So I have to respect the Deadman. If I had to choose between attacking Pelargir and Osgiliath, I should have attacked Osgiliath, is basically what I'm trying to say. But like I have to respect the Deadman, so I retreat. I go to Easternnet. If they allow me to attack, try to kill Aragorn, I will. But they won't, obviously. They just use a will to bring Boromir into Helm's Deep. Yeah. They don't bring in everyone. I guess they really have... I think they do play Riders of Theoden, but anyway. And Aragorn is in Rohan now, so... Oh, they literally played next turn. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I get the Witch King finally. Where do I get him? It's a big question. I have a handful of cards I really would like to attack, but obviously I don't want to attack the elves to muster them for them. I would really want to cover Lorien first, but I don't have the dice to be able to do that. They keep mustering in Carrick. I attack Woodland Realm. Another thing to consider here is I want to be done with Woodland Realm before this army in Carrick musters a ton and just plops itself in Old Forest Road to threaten help unlooked for. Because if this army in Carrick manages to reinforce the army in Woodland Realm, then it's really GG. So I want to be done with it. I want to attack with cards. So I play Great Host. A little bit risky. Maybe should just use the Candles or Corpses. But like at this point, I was like, I played the military game so badly that maybe I should need to, I need to keep some like corruption hitting cards in my back pocket to maybe pivot to a corruption game later on. So that's why I play Stormcrow. Probably slight error. But I don't know. Maybe it's not that big a deal. If I press again, he knows. Great Host into no quarter, which is really bad for me. If my opponent gets a lot of hits, they might even cancel the Great Host. So they get 3 hits. I get 1. So the way I need to take my casualties like this to be able to trigger the Great Host. Had they dealt 1 more damage, then Great Host would have not triggered. So which means I lost my ability to press, basically. So this is just turned out to be so bad. They play File, and I'm not really sure why. Like they were not overdrawing. I know it's against 5 Eyes. And maybe you don't want to reveal through Moria, but I would have definitely moved, right? Like moving once a turn, even against 5 Eyes, it's like, what, 60% chance that you caught. Like, yeah, the Gandalf died to a very inefficient hit. Plus, he separated 5 corruption health. Makes sense. Like, I get that you don't want to move, sure. Or make all these dice just go to waste immediately. I understand. Maybe I allocate 0 Eyes next turn and I roll no more, and then you can rush. So it makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if one is better than the other. Is basically what I'm trying to say, though. I think moving is also fine. So we go to turn 5, get Denethor's Foul Thing, kill the Breaking. 1 Eye, roll 3 more. Yeah, because also stuff like this can happen, right? Like I can just keep rolling eyes, and are you really gonna delay for 2 turns? I don't know. So they muster in character. They might delay for 2 turns. I guess they're not in any rush to move, so that makes sense. By the way, they're gonna get the last action again anyways. I play Heal Trolls. They move. They're not caught. I muster in North Dunland. They move down the elves to war because my plan was just to use these remaining dice to attack Rivendell or Lorien. No, sorry. Yeah, what am I talking about? I want to move Eastamnet to attack Lorien. And I think like even if I had moved first to part Celebrant, I had to hedge my bet against this army moving to Old Forest Road. Like, I need to be prepared to be able to take Wooden Realm when this army and Carrick moves to Old Forest Road. So I didn't have time to go to part Celebrant. That's why I played Hill Trolls. I kind of like skipped over that part very quickly, unfortunately. But yeah, and that gave my opponent time to move, but then I could have gotten here. Yeah, I mean, they really didn't have to move. I think they should have done this first and not allowed them. Like, because the last die, I could have, instead of mustering in North Dunland, I could have just gone to part Celebrant and not given them another muster. But now they will get another muster into Lorien. So I play Rage. Oh, this is what I was playing for. Okay. They play Axe and Bow. I move Buckland because Rivendell is kind of out of the picture now that they can muster it. I go there. Okay. What? Yeah, I made a mess of turn. I think what I was trying to do, muster twice in North Dunland, use Rage and move. And when I move, I wanted to move with this army, but obviously I can't do that. I should have just besieged Lorien when elves were not at war. Again, another mistake. My opponent musters in the Shire. Okay, that's fair. You wanna be a nuisance. We get Mustering of the Long Planned War and Cruel Weather. Okay. Fellowship, okay, allocate 1 eye. Roll 1 more. Get a very nice roll. And also my opponent gets a very nice roll. So here they muster in Lorien. I muster in Moria. So this plan is probably what got me back into the game, in all honesty. Fellowship is at movement 6. I have 2 points, which mean nothing because they're cities. No strongholds. I will take Woodland Realm. My opponent can muster in elves. Yeah, I can take the Shire, sure. Big whoop. But like at this point, I noticed a very important thing that everybody needs to be aware of is there are no elven regulars left in the force pool or in casualties, which means whenever I deal damage to the elves, they won't be able to reduce. And that's very relevant in Rivendell. Sure, they can get an extra elite in there, but every hit I do will cause them to take 2 instead of 1. And that's significant, like quite significant. So I decide to muster once in Moria, twice in Moria. They move again. They're safe. I'm not catching them again in this game. I start moving towards Lorien, and this army is going towards Rivendell. They muster in Lorien. I go to Trollshaws, and I bring some reinforcements here. They move. They're safe again. I attack Rivendell. I think they might have realized that this extra Elven Elite is just an extra hit point. It's not that efficient, so that's probably why they didn't muster there. They play Elven Rope. I attack Lorien. They play Imrahil. And what do I do with this? Balrog? Like, I really want to attack, do some stuff, move maybe leadership, but like this army in Carrick also is pressuring the army in Woodland Realm. I try to play Candles, I can't because Fellowship is still in Rivendell. I play Balrog to basically not lose cards. But yeah, we go to turn 7. Draw monsters roused. On they went. Kill the candles of corpses that I tried to play. Fellowship, okay. 1 eye allocated. Roll 3 more. Again, very high on eyes. They get a beautiful movement roll. They are in Mordor. Turn 7. In a Return of the King game, I think turn 7 Mordor is very good. Not gonna lie. Because you don't move for a turn. So it's like a regular turn 6, but without Strider. That's very, very fast. They use a will to muster in Carrick and Shire. And yeah, I'm thinking I'm looking to take 3 Elven Strongholds. That's 6. And 4 cities for 10. That was my plan. At this point. So I need to attack the Shire before it gets any larger, though they don't have any more musters. Maybe they use a will. I attack Shire. I no card it. I don't think there's any cards. I want to keep my cards to attack Rivendell and Woodland Realm probably. So I get 1 hit. I press. They go to Tower Hills. Makes sense. They're protecting Grey Havens because Grey Havens is also a very much could be a target. Like a 1 Uruk-hai, 1 Half-Orcs and Goblin Men, and there's like, or a couple Musters in the Shadows Gather. Certainly could like push for Grey Havens. So they cover Tower Hills. They move. They're safe again. I don't think it would have mattered, but like at least I would have gotten like a reveal, one tile from Kant, one tile from Moria, one die, hide, move again, maybe get to cruel weather them. Like, you know, not catching them just sucks there. I get a reroll because an army is on top of Rivendell. Not a hit, but okay. I attack Rivendell here, and yeah, I play Desperate Battle into Shield Wall. I again just get. I have no leadership there, by the way. I have 0 leadership, and I'm attacking like a madman. I get a single hit, even with Desperate Battle. But yeah, 2 Ls, nothing to reduce, means that 1 hit is actually going to be 2 hits. That they're just going to kill an elite. And I'm going to press. So I just need like this single elite. I just need a single hit to kill it. Simple as that. So I play another Desperate Battle. I really wanted to get it done. I don't have time to waste. I get it done. They hit me back. It's fine. That's one of the easiest Rivendell takes I've ever seen. With a 4-2-0, a single die. I mean, it took 2 Desperate Battles, but like, holy, like, that was not difficult. What happened? Oh, they are drawing a character card. Okay, here, I want to, with the same logic, because these regulars are stuck in Woodland Realm, I don't want to attack Woodland Realm, but I would rather attack Lorien first with Balrog. If I manage to get like 3 hits in a single round, they just like kill all the elites and reduce their combat strength. Then I can finish off Woodland Realm. Then I can like pivot back. But I have a single attack, and my opponent is showing a lot of attacks, which means they can just go to Carrick to Old Forest Road and attack into me. Just like a suicide mission, just reduce my force and then cause problems. They might even have help unlooked for, which would be disastrous. I really don't have attacks. It's just such a bad roll for me with like 3 extra eyes and 2 Palantirs, and not even catch the Fellowship to be able to make these cards playable. So I play on they went. Nothing else I can do. They move into Mordor, and they are safe again. Which, like, if I reveal them, it's 2 extra tiles. Literally, the hunt pool is just what I killed Gandalf with a 1 and then a Gimli to a 3. Like, it's a massive hunt pool. You know, a little bit of frustration coming out, not gonna lie, but you know. So here I am in a impasse because I again want to attack Lorien, but if I attack into Lorien, they just attack me in Woodland Realm. 1 second. Okay, sorry. What was I saying? So yeah, I'm at an impasse because I want to attack. I have a single attack, and I want to use it to attack into Lorien when they can't take efficient hits. The situation in Lorien is not so dire because they have a single regular to kill, which means that 1 hit does not equal 2 hits, but instead they will quickly start losing combat strength because they won't be able to reduce these extra elites, which is still significant. So I want to attack there, basically. But if I attack there, I lose my only attack. I don't have any more rings, which means this army in Woodland Realm is just a sitting duck from this army in Carrick, which I failed to cover all those turns ago. So a massive headache, a massive, massive headache, which is completely by my fault. So I draw a card. I draw into Shadows Gather, which is really good in this situation. It allows me to do so much. Again, push for Grey Havens, bring some dudes of reinforcements, like all sorts of fun stuff. My opponent makes this move, and this is a very, very smart move. They are threatening to use a ring to go to Narrows of the Forest and Holland and taking Moria and Oguldur, and they can only do this because they will have the last action. Had they given me a ring and I had the last action, I can just use the ring back to cover my bases. But because I rolled that many eyes, I can't do that. So this attack, and they're also threatening to attack into me, by the way. So it's a big question where I attack here, right? And I think to myself, okay, because I have Shadows Gather, I'm just going to attack into Lorien. And if they choose to attack into Woodland Realm, it's not great. I'm just going to retreat back into Dale, bring some more dudes from the South Thrones and try retaking it, even though it will probably be a full stronghold at that point. It's like really tough. Maybe I should just swallow the pill. Tough pill to swallow, but like maybe I should just attack into Woodland Realm. Just be like, okay, you got me. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna attack Lorien, and I play Balrog. They Heroic Death. My Balrog gets 2 hits, which is above average. Like it, and I get 1 more hit, which is again like 3 hits exactly, right? And they get 1 hit back. Heroic Death saves them a lot here, actually, because does it? If it was an even hit, if Heroic Death was like, if I dealt 2 damage, then Heroic Death would have actually. I don't know. I'm not gonna like think too much about it. Yeah, with 3 hits, they managed to kill an elite and Heroic Death and still keep it. Maybe it matters for some reason. But I press because I want to deal damage, and probably like because now Cruel Weather is just dead, I should just play it. Cruel Death into Valor, and I get 4 hits. I get 4 hits, which is like a massive, just massive. English vocabulary. Okay. So they get 2 back. Now all of a sudden this fight is done. Like this is why I wanted to attack Lorien first. They use a ring to make this move, and this makes like they're gonna get to 4 victory points. They're gonna get to 4 victory points, and if I don't roll enough attacks, if I don't roll a nice roll, they will be able to just outright win the game. And if they roll a crazy roll, maybe they can storm Mordor with the army in Minas Tirith and get to 6 victory points, which guarantees their victory. This army I can probably retake Moria, given a decent roll. I just need 1, 2, 3 attacks, so it's not crazy. Plus, I have a ring. But if they also get an insane roll, they can maybe take Morannon, and that will be GG. They could have also attacked into Woodland Realm, like I've been saying this whole time, and they choose not to do it. It is still a very much like an unfavored fight for them. I'm still rolling 8 dice to their 4, which means I'm expected double the hits that they will do to me. All this is to say, if this field fight goes horribly wrong for them, they just throw away all their advantage and just lose. So this is a very risky attack, though if it works out, it just probably outright wins them the game. So depending on their cards that we don't know, may have influenced their decision. So they choose to take my strongholds, my poor strongholds that I left open. So turn 8. They are in Mordor. Fellowship, okay, allocate 1 eye, roll 2 more. Corruption is not a problem at this point. Again, a massive hunt pool. So really hates rolling a little more eyes than I necessarily need. But my opponent gets a bunch of movement plus the dice to be able to retake strongholds. So they take my strongholds. They get to 4. They're like gonna have the chillest time going up in Mordor, and they're at 4, which means, all right, what do I do, right? What do I do about that? I looked at my cards, I looked at my situation, and I'm like, okay, I need 5 victory points, which means take Woodland Realm, take Lorien, take Eros. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks, which I do have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a ring. I do have that. So let's just win the game. Let's just win the game. Attack within round first. At this point, the order doesn't matter. Probably should attack Lorien first. But I want to... Oh, I want to cycle cards. That's the situation. Yeah, I really don't have any that good combat cards. Probably just play Swarm of Bats. Or they're terrible because I don't have time to move leadership. So that's the best place I can play it. Sure, I'm with you. I'm hip with it. Okay, get one hit. Does not matter. We're just going to press into Words of Power. Words of Power is actually huge. Gives me another attack. Absolutely massive. No card, no card. Just gonna bank on rolling some 6s, and I do roll some 6s. All right, good. 1 down. They move. It's a 1. Bye-bye Axe and Bow. The reveal is here. It actually is massive because it does slow them down. They're gonna have to waste a die to hide, which is absolutely massive. Though maybe at this point it does not matter because I'm basically looking to just win the game right now. And they won't be able to just dunk. So it's still certainly helpful. So I used Ring Racer Abroad, full leadership, bring everyone here. I just need 3 6s in 10 dice, plus whatever cards I play. I don't have any presses, which sucks. Which means the only playable card will be Swarm of Bats. And then just Orthanc is just going to move out and take Edoras. I play Swarm Bats into advantageous position. Very nice play. Because advantageous position doesn't usually counter, you know, like its effect just like doesn't do anything if you don't play against anything, but like it causes Swarm of Bat to not work as a They Are Terrible, which is significant enough. I get nothing. I get a single hit. And I have to draw and stop. And this is why the Ring Racer Abroad draw was actually huge, because I have myself another attack. I still need 4 attacks, and I have 4 attacks with the ring. So they hide. Oh, they don't hide. They play Red Arrow, and the moment Red Arrow hits, this is just the plan fails. The reason it fails it because it's this little muster that Rohan does. If this was a Eomer, this would not be GG. But because it's Red Arrow that also musters them down, it's like not GG as in like it's the end of the game. It's like the plan is now doesn't work. Because when I attack into Fords, I'm going to muster them one more time. And when I attack into Westernet, now Rohan will be at war, which means Boromir can attack into me and push me away from Edoras. And in all honesty, with the 2 musters my opponent had, they could have mustered it manually as well. Right, if they just muster Rohan down manually twice, then attack into Force puts them to war, then I can't go to Westernet. So maybe this plan of going towards Edoras was never actually anything. So maybe that was a mistake to try to bank on Edoras. Plus, by the way, I need to mention, I'm always just like, I accepted the fact that I'm always losing to Deadman. Because if I'm going for 4 cities, they just Deadman. They just move, Deadman with the final die, and then just like, okay, I don't have, I can't get to 10. They made like a lot of progress, and they probably dunk next turn. So I attack Lorien. I want to be done with it. Attack with Onslaught. Just roll 3 6s. Fine. Cycle into Swarm of Bats, which is good. They take it back. What do they do? They go for, they think here for a while, deciding what to do. Because they're still at 4 victory points. They're still at 4 victory points. And if I'm not going to be reaching Edoras, I am going to just outright lose the game. So I'm looking at ways to get to 10 outside Edoras, which is technically only Grey Havens here, like attack, attack, ring attack. And this is not a... This is a very questionable force to take with no leadership, by the way. So maybe I should have moved some leadership up here. But like, honestly, just probably would have moved 2 extra there to have 4 leadership. Maybe I could do it. It's tough to say, though. It really depends on the first round of combat, like this fight in Tower Hills. But if this fight in Tower Hills goes badly, then I don't have enough dives to retake Moria. So this is very tough. So they end up deciding to hide, which I think is certainly correct. Like, you're not in any rush. You don't have to do anything. And I take a long thing to whether going for Grey Havens is correct versus retaking Moria. Because the hunt pool is so chill, the corruption is so like not an issue. They can just move again and probably get a dunk next turn. And if they hit a good tile like a 0, one of the zeros, they can just like use a ring to hide or like ring to move again. Like even this 3 is like very fine for them, right? They just kill, get down to Golem, move again. They can definitely dunk in 2 turns, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to trust in the tiles. If they are revealed, they will be slower. So I'm just going to retake Moria. I end up deciding to. But like here, my opponent like springs a very cool idea, which I honestly did not see coming. And maybe that's my mistake. I thought they would for sure move. But instead, they retreat from Tower Hills, which is smart. And they also go to South Andean Well. And the idea here is very, simple. I have to take Moria, which means when I do take Moria, they will just use a ring and retake Lorien. So this is a very beautiful play. Like I'm not sure how much more valuable it is to then just move twice or like move at least once and see what happens. But like they will get to retake Lorien, and it's really cool. And I'm like, maybe I should have left a little bit more dudes back. But then I genuinely have a single like 10 dice plus Swarm of Bats to kill Moria with, and I can't kill it. I just like lose the game. So I'm not really sure how many units I can leave behind. But yeah, they just like I give the ring back to attack Moria with Swarm of Bats. I can't mess around. I get my hit. They don't hit anything. So they don't win militarily, but they will take back Lorien. Like very similar to game 2 where they like moved around my army in Bree into retaking Rivendell. They very, very nicely moved around my army in Dimrildale to go to Park Kelver, and they're going to retake Lorien. And when you retake Lorien, and it's not a nothing, and they have still an Elven Elite left, it's not going to be the easiest stronghold to retake, which means they just like gain that much more time for themselves, for the Frodo and the Fellowship. So I get a Return to Valinor and Dreadful Spells. Dreadful Spells is actually really nice because I can technically just Dreadful Spells an army in Lorien and not have to like huge attack it. Allocate 1 eye, roll 1 more, get a very iffy roll, I want to say. Not the end of the world. Again, not great. They attack Lorien, makes a lot of sense. And here, I was thinking on how to get back the points I lost. And yeah, Lorien's going to be one of them. And I'm thinking about Grey Havens because I do have Shadows Gather. I can just muster a couple more. I have New Powers Rising, which means I'm going to get some units here. Shadows Gather, and then just like take Grey Havens. That's an option. Though my opponent very nicely defended Grey Havens at this point. They bring Aragorn and Gandalf here, which is going to cause me that much more delay retaking it. Very nice play. But I do have Dreadful Spells, which is going to be like almost the MVP. Shout out to Captain of the Ring. But yeah, so play New Powers Rising. They attack Lorien. They don't shine. No card. They play Wizard Staff. They don't get any hits. No sixes. I hit them, which is very significant because a hit means that they lose an ability to press. And they press. So if this attack fails, they will need to burn some more dice. They attack with the character dice. Sudden Strike. Completely whiffs. Combat roll misses. But they get the final 6. You know. Yeah, few is absolutely right. Like, no business holding out that for long. A single dude. Like, if there was one more dude, maybe, you know, it would have been a totally different story. And my orc gets another hit. So it, like, completely massacres. My single orc deals 3 damage to this massive army, which is huge. And I can maybe Dreadful Spells kill both Aragorn and Gandalf at the same time. So here, I'm like, this massive army, I can just take Edoras and retake Lorien. So I attack forwards. Like, my plan here is go to Dimmeldale and hopefully go to Westernet with the same die. Attack forwards, attack Edoras. That's 2 attacks, 3 dice. 3 dice. And use like a Dreadful Spells to clear Lorien and then move into it. So that's another die for 5 dice. I can win the game with 5 dice, and I have 5 dice plus a ring. Right? If I'm not like mistaken. 1, 2, 3 to play with Dreadful Spells. 4, 5, 6. Maybe I need 1 more dice. No, this half movement should just be is gonna be fine. Yeah, I can definitely I can win. I can win. This fort is, but this guy in fours needs to die. Like, it just what needs to happen. I have only a Deadly Strife that's playable. I'm like, I'm just gonna no card it. I have 10 dice. What could go wrong? And gonna keep Return to Valinor to maybe Edoras fight. And I don't get it. And this miss is, again, just significant because now I cannot win. Now I cannot win. I just don't have the dice anymore. I can't move this guy in forwards effectively into Estimnet, which is just sucks. My opponent moves. It's a 0 reveal. Reveal is huge. It wastes more time for them. Like, this move, right? Dimmeldale and into Westnet would have been a huge efficiency move, but unfortunate. I merge in North Dunland. I still have Shadows Gather. You know, maybe I go towards Grey Havens. They escape, obviously, and they move to Boromir into Fangorn. I was like thinking maybe they're trying to reinforce Lorien, but obviously Saruman's completely open. I attack Westernet here, hoping to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But obviously, if somebody is doing this, they probably have scouts, and like nobody's gonna risk both Gandalf and Aragorn like this. But I have to attack there anyway, so I attack it. They don't shine. I play Nazgul Strike. Why not? They scouts. Yeah, they scouts into Helm's Deep. I'm in Westernet. By the way, I leave 1 dude behind to somehow protect Orthanc, maybe. My opponent uses a ring to kill Saruman into Grey Company. which is just wow. It's just like now Orthanc could be dead. Though it's unlikely because if you leave Helm's Deep behind, I can probably just reach 10. I play Dreadful Spells on Lorien. It is going to save me almost 2 attacks. I get a hit. Lorien's now fully open, and they're out of dice. So I'm going to use a ring to just move in. And then I merged in Dale because another option that I technically have is just go attack Erebor. So want to organize those guys. But I also could have just gone to maybe Tower Hills to go merge in Tower Hills. That's also an option. I am at 9 victory points. So if they retake any of the cities, if I win a stronghold, it won't matter. Turn 10, get Lure and Relentless Assault, Fellowship, okay, 1 eye, allocated, roll 1 more. And yeah, I just didn't get that many attacks. I don't have Saruman. I'm only rolling 8 dice. I don't have the mouth. I still haven't gotten the mouth. And I have only 1, 2, 3 attacks. If I get the mouth, it's going to be 4 attacks. So maybe going to Tower Hills was the correct option there. Then I can Shadows Gather here. Move Leadership. Attack. 1 excess muster left, which I can use a ring to attack Edoras with. Yeah, I don't hate that. But then obviously my opponent can probably retake. Can they retake the Shire with this guy in North Downs? Maybe they can muster in Bree, but they can't muster a regular leader. Tough, yeah. What would you do? Where would you attack as Shadow here? Oh, this is the Free People roll. Yeah, so they definitely could. Like, if I just leave behind Shire, they can retake Shire. So I need to, like, leave behind some amount of forces to be able to hold the Shire as well. Well, does that matter, though? I'm going to take Edoras. They can retake Pelargir. They can retake Shire. That's 2 points. That's -1. If I take a stronghold, that's fine. If provided that I take Edoras, I think I can leave behind Shire. And Shire is the easier target compared to Erebor, for example. So I think, yeah, I think I should have gone to, like, Tower Hills here. Shadows Gather. Move Leadership. Attack. And ring attack Edoras with one of these dice. And the other muster... Yeah, the other monster can even go to North Dunland to get an extra press over the Grey Havens. Yeah, that seems smart to me. I think that's what I should have done. That's like the easiest target to attack. Though they can muster an elite there, so maybe... Well, I don't know. Where would you attack? Where would you attack as Shadow? So, they muster... an elite in Wooden Realm, Helm's Deep. By the way, they could just hide, move. Hide, move. They have the dice. They don't have rings, but they do have the movement to be able to dunk, for sure. I attack Edoras before they manage to recruit more elites there. I don't get anything. They get 1 hit. I just take it. I just put everyone there. So I'm at 10. They either have to dunk, which they can still do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, exact. If they don't reveal ever, which is now less likely to happen. They attack forwards. They kill the guy. I don't get any hits. Then they move a single unit out, which means if they manage to keep me off 10 victory points, they might just take Orthanc and win. So I just defend Orthanc. Yeah. Again, going for Grey Havens, as nice that as it looks and as like smooth that as it looks, they get an elite in there. It's tough. I decided to go for, which is I'm gonna reveal in a second. My opponent's thinking they just hide. Makes a lot of sense. I move to North Anduin Vale, presumably to like retake Dol Guldur, maybe. But my opponent, everybody moves everyone into Westmenet to try to take Edoras. They're trying to keep me off 10 victory points. But yeah, my plan is to take Edoras. I just like spring the trap, spring the Shadows Gather into haha, I have attacks. And yeah, they attack Edoras. They're shining. They use the card. I'm surprised that they used the Valor here, by the way, because they could have also used it in Erebor. And also, that's one less strategy card that I need to worry about. I cannot leave, so we fight to the death. It's a pretty gruesome fight. Like, we both get some hits. So in the end, it is all this army in Rohan kind of just dwindled, but I don't have any more forces left. If there is a next turn, maybe they can retake Lorien again, so who knows. But my plan is to attack Erebor with all my forces. I could have Grond. I have not played Grond, which is very scary. But they move. It's a 3. They just kill. Fine. And yeah, I have to attack here. And this is gonna come down to who wins the game, like this fight. If I don't take it, they will be able to donk. If I take it, obviously I win. And they have 2 strategy cards. They have played a single Daylight with Riders of Theoden. So all I have to do is dodge a Daylight with my Deadly Strife, I think, to win. So give me a second. I'll set it up in the battle simulator. Okay, so I set it up. I'll reveal this shortly. So all I have to do is technically play my cards right, literally. I have a Relentless Assault. I have a Dare Terrible. I have Deadly Strife. I have 3 rounds of combat. I will have a cycled card. So it's just gonna be how I deal with the remaining 2 strategy cards. They might have Heroic Death. I think they played like 1 Heroic Death or so. They played 2 strategy, 2 shield walls or something. And the fight is looking like this. Right now, let's just change the view. Right now, the fight is like 10% with no cards. But like, imagine I play Deadly Strife. Imagine I play Relentless Assault. And then finally, like, Dare Terrible or something. It's like 60-ish%. 60, yeah, without anything. Maybe if I play They Are Terrible as the second, where is this? They Are Terrible, and play Relentless Assault as the last like ditch effort, it's like 60%. You can feel free to play around. Like I can play around with the orderings. Maybe play They Are Terrible first, and just finish it off with a Deadly Strife, and play Relentless here. It's still 60%. One problem with the simulator is that like it assumes that the Relentless Assault always takes 2 hits, which is not sometimes what you want to do. Taking 2 hits with Relentless Assault speeds up the siege, the fight, obviously, but it obviously makes it less likely for you to win because it's riskier. So it does speed it up, but yeah. So all this is to say, if they have a Deadly Strife, and if they have a Daylight, if I get my Deadly Strife hit with a Daylight, my win rate goes like almost half. I suddenly can only win 25% of the time. So like imagine that I managed to play Relentless Assault and then into Deadly Strife. like avoiding a daylight, then my win rate does not go down that much. I figured that I would want to cycle a strategy card. So if I'm cycling a strategy card, I really should be... I have an option with playing Relentless Assault versus Deadly Strife. And I think my opponent cannot risk me playing an uncontested Deadly Strife. They have to respond their Daily Strife into the first strategy card that I play. Which means that I should just play my Relentless Assault first. Yeah, like just running your... I'm just trying to avoid my strongest card getting hit with Daylight. So, but I say I'm thinking, and I know I want to play a strategy card. That's what I want to cycle into. I might cycle into Onslaught or Great Host, right? Those are excellent cards to finish a siege. So I want to play a strategy card. Plus, playing a character card does not necessarily make my opponent play the Deadly Strife. So it's a question between Relentless Assault or Deadly Strife. And I play the Deadly Strife, and my opponent plays at Daylight. So, which is a huge bummer. Well played. Like I should expect them to have a Daily Strife here, and also expect them to play it against the strategy card. So it's like kind of like my misplay to like not play Relentless Assault there. And even if I play Relentless Assault, by the way, I will take 2 hits against the Deadly Daylight and just try to win. Basically, like just try to get lucky. Yeah, sure, it sucks, but like, oh well. What am I going to do the extra dudes for, right? So, continuing with combat, I get 3 hits. Even with Relentless, it would have been 3 hits, but okay. But my opponent gets also 3 hits, which is like a little below average. They rolled pretty badly. So we're in here. We're in here, right? I have to press, obviously. And I cycle into Great Host, which is excellent. I have to deal 4 damage with 2 rounds of combat. I have Great Host, which is usually an auto hit. So I need to deal damage. Now it's a question, do you play Relentless Assault versus They Are Terrible? If we go back to the Battle Simulator after this round of combat, right, this is the situation. Let's clear the cards. I have a 33% chance to win. The reason my chance improved is because my opponent rolled not a hot roll on combat. And now if I have to choose between Relentless Assault, which adds me 60% versus like They Are Terrible, it's not that much. So I played Relentless Assault here. And my opponent plays Confusion, which is just a high variance card. Like any ones, just Confusion, right? It's now back to being a 50%, like around 40, 47%. It's funny because if I don't play anything and they confuse me, like obviously don't have anything. So I have to play. It's 47%. It's like a coin flip almost. I take 2. I roll 2 hits, 1 to myself. And my opponent rolls a single hit, which is again below expectation. 1 + 1, yep. 1 for the card. And so now we are down to 2 versus this. I have to press. This is a 305 against a 2. I need to get 2 hits, but Great Host is like the best card that I could hope for in this situation. And again, if you go back down to the simulator land, this is a 20%. With a Great Host, it's actually, again, just above 50 to still win. If they have Heroic Death, I think it would be just over, though. Yeah, it's just suddenly 17%. So I play They Know card, Great Host, I roll two sixes. So holy, I almost like fell out of my chair. No joke. Yeah, because like if they get two hits, then Great Host doesn't even trigger. So I'm like basically banking on the fact that I get one hit and they get less than two. And they say GG, I say GG. They roll two hits. So like actually those sixes mattered. Like what a game. Yeah. So yeah, it was just an awesome game, awesome matchup. Holy, I didn't, I still, I still don't believe it. But yeah, it was an awesome, awesome game. Very close fight. Like it came down to the last regular. Amazing back and forth. It was just so much fun. Huge like props to my opponent. They played an absolutely amazing game. I think like looking at the start, like the way I played my cards was so wrong that like managed to get lucky, but at that point I was trying to get lucky to win because otherwise I was just like straight up lost next turn. And like I hate to say this, but like if they just moved, they probably just would have won the game. But like we talk about it after the game, but like they felt like it was more fun to try to retake the military stuff and cause military shenanigans, which I do agree it's more fun. It's just kind of like a little unfortunate that it's like the less optimal thing to do. You know, that's you know, it's just a little criticism of the game, I guess, in that sense. But they absolutely played beautifully. Yeah, it was just an awesome matchup, and yeah. If I have, let's look at the statistics. I don't think there was anything crazy in terms of luck. Oh, I'm still in the wrong scene. There we go. My opponent is very high on movement and wills. And I am high on the eyes, which certainly felt like it early game. Late game, it kind of like fixed itself. I was very much down in sixes early game, but it like balanced out with those crazy rolls on Wooden Realm and like Lorien. And my opponent's combat is like nothing to write home about, but like it's fine. I think in terms of luck, it was fine. I just never caught the Fellowship in the hunt again. But yeah, I just managed to eke out the win. Genuinely, it was amazing. I'm probably not my best shadow game, especially I hated the way I played the early game. I think I think it was around turn 7 where I just like attacked, bunch of Elven strongholds. The way I took Rivendell was, I think, very nice. But like the way my opponent just retook Lorien was like top class, like just awesome. But yeah, awesome game. So we advanced to the round of 32. Huge. And yeah, I hope this was interesting, entertaining to watch. And if you have thoughts, opinions, different play ideas, things I have missed, feel free to share them down in the comments. Love to talk about those. So thank you for watching. I will see you and catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.